Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the Noon News from Montana's news leader.
Good afternoon, and thanks so much for joining us this Wednesday here on the Noon News. I'm Samantha Sullivan. Congressional leaders say they will cancel the upcoming Martin Luther King Jr. recess and stay in session unless a deal on border security is reached. Democrats nor the president are backing down on the fight over border security. Nicole Killian reports from Washington.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi sent President Trump a letter asking him to postpone the State of the Union address until the government is reopened. Citing a strain on security, Pelosi said both the U.S. Secret Service and the Department of Homeland Security have not been funded for 26 days now, with critical departments hamstrung by furloughs.
This requires hundreds of people working on the logistics and the security of it. Most of those people are either furloughed or victims of the shutdown.
President Trump is blaming the Democrats for the shutdown, tweeting, "They are a party of open borders and crime. They want nothing to do with the major humanitarian crisis on our southern border." The president is meeting with the Problem Solver Caucus, a bipartisan group at the White House today. Border security is high on the agenda. A new analysis from the Council of Economic Advisors shows the standoff over border wall funding is impacting the economy at twice the rate the Trump administration expected.
There has been some impact, but at the same time, again, we're focused on the long-term economic principles that the president's laid out.
Thousands of federal workers still aren't getting paid, and if a deal isn't reached soon, those furloughed workers could miss a second paycheck.
The American people have reached a point long ago when they were fed up with this government shutdown. They understand that good, hardworking people doing important jobs for America are showing up for work without a paycheck.
The Trump administration is recalling some 50,000 federal employees to work without pay, including food inspectors and IRS staff. Nicole Killian, CBS News, the White House.
In other news this afternoon, a 25-year-old bull rider is dead after an event at the National Western Stock Show in Denver on Tuesday night. The rider was identified as Mason Lowe. Professional Bull Riders CEO Sean Gleason confirmed the information in a tweet last night. A witness who was at the bull riding event in Denver told CBS Lowe was bucked off and then the bull stepped on his chest. Apparently, Lowe got up, took a few steps, and then collapsed. Lowe was from Missouri. And here in Montana, one person is dead and another in critical condition after an SUV collided with a snowmobile in West Yellowstone on Monday. The two victims were both on a snowmobile when they failed to stop at an intersection and were hit by an SUV. One was rushed by medical helicopter to a hospital in Idaho Falls, while the other was pronounced dead at the scene. Both were vacationing from out of state. The driver of the SUV was not injured. And now we'll take a turn over to Ed in the Weather Center. Ed, with the warmer weather, not as much snow in the mountains as we're used to.
That's right. We've been losing some of it since the first of the month with the warmer than average temperatures across much of the region. So now we're not in a critical situation by any stretch. We're still in the 70s, 80s across most of Montana. A little more snow through the northern portion of Wyoming, but we've been fairly quiet as far as new accumulations. So another weather system starting to move in does bring the promise of some mainly mountain snow and also a little bit more that will push across the plains. A lot of this is going to favor western and northern Montana over the course of the next few days. We're going to break down the details on that forecast coming up in a few minutes with some colder temperatures along with it. Details coming up.
Thanks, Ed. One of the most significant portions of Governor Steve Bullock's proposed budget, the state university system, had its first hearing at the legislature. The governor is proposing a $24 million increase in state funding over 2 years in order to freeze college tuition. The proposal also includes another $5 million for financial aid to help students who might otherwise not be able to afford college. On a per-student basis, Montana ranks 49th in the nation when it comes to providing state-funded financial aid. Montana State University President Wadad Cruzado also told the legislative budget panel about a scholarship program MSU would like to expand, helping kids from working-class families. It's named after an MSU graduate who went on to develop vaccines that saved millions of lives. Cruzado said the graduate had planned to be a store clerk in Miles City until a scholarship helped fund his education.
But a scholarship changed all that. A scholarship, 2 years ago, would have saved millions of lives. 2 years ago, would have saved millions of lives. 2 years ago, would have saved millions of lives. 2 years ago, would have saved millions of lives. 2 years ago, would have saved millions of lives. 2 years ago, would have saved millions of lives. 2 years ago, would have saved millions of lives. 2 years ago, would have saved millions of lives. 2 years ago, would have saved millions of lives. 2 years ago, would have saved millions of lives. 2 years ago, would have saved millions of lives. 2 years ago, would have saved millions of lives. 2 years ago, would have saved millions of lives. 2 years ago, would have saved millions of lives. 2 years ago, would have saved millions of lives. 2 years ago, would have saved millions of lives. 2 years ago, would have saved millions of lives. 2 years ago, would have saved millions of lives. 2 years ago, would have saved millions of li changed his life. And that scholarship, I want to believe, was more than just dollars. It was a signal that someone believed in his potential. With that little bit of help, this ordinary son of Montana went on to an extraordinary career that improved all our lives.
A House Senate budget panel will vote later on the university system's budget. And more than $70,000 in grants are unveiled to benefit school breakfast programs across the state. Montana Governor Steve Bullock made that announcement on Tuesday. 18 schools in Montana were awarded Breakfast After the Bell grants, which allow students to eat school breakfast during or between morning lessons. Helena Food Services Director Robert Worthy says the program continues to grow statewide.
Obviously, we're making a difference. We're reaching kids, and that's ultimately our goal, is to get those kids nutrition so they can have, breakfast, and then they can have lunch, and then hopefully get them through until they get home for school.
Since 2014, more than $400,000 in private grant funding has been given to Montana schools to help implement Breakfast After the Bell programs. In Bozeman last night, the Bozeman School Board approved spending $2.2 million in upgrades to the schools. Each year, the district assesses the needs of each individual building. While each school will get some sort of upgrade, the Chief Joseph Medicine School is in line for significant security upgrades this year.
It's actually a fairly new building, but there have been many changes even over the last 10 or 15 years in that regard. But the board allocated some money for us to look at a better secure entrance to that building.
Funding for the improvement projects will come from the building reserve levy that was recently passed by Bozeman voters. And Kalispell officially has a new police chief. Captain Doug Overman has been promoted to Kalispell Chief of Police, according to a Facebook post. Overman has been with the Kalispell Police Department since 2000 and had worked in several different positions during his time. Kalispell has been searching for a new police chief since the end of 2017, when former Chief Roger Nassett announced he was leaving after a 24-year career with the department.